We now go to 5 minutes before the season finale of Saturday Night Live, where myself, Brian Edwards, and Matt Smith are about to watch, as Matt is 100 points behind Russel Harder in the SNL Fantasy League. How are you feeling going into this? It's sort of like 10 minutes away from the episode.
I'm nervous, but I believe in my guys. I believe in my girls. I think we're going to have a good squad out there. We're going to give it 110%. We're going to play like it's Game 7. There's no tomorrow. And yeah, we'll just do the best
we got to get our feet on the field. We just got to score some points. We got to push to the end zone.
Yeah, we're going to do it for these fans out here. They've been with us since day one.
Sport metaphor.
Except for John Milheiser. Fuck that guy.
Oh, I love Milheiser.
What if he leaves this summer and that's the last words you ever said to him on the podcast?
It's probably the last words anybody's going to say about that guy.
I love John Milheiser. Alright, so who do you have on your team?
Kate McKinnon.
1.
Cecily Strong.
2.
Beck Bennett.
3.
And the aforementioned John Milheiser.
Plus Andy Samberg.
Plus Andrew Samberg.
You really lucked out / fucked yourself in terms of, like, you're going to be super nervous for this
I'm trying to think of all the recurring characters he has, which wasn't many.
Are we hoping for a Blizzard Man?
I'm hoping for an out-of-breath jogger.
Oh, I loved out-of-breath jogger.
I don't know if maybe can we get Rick Santorum? Has he been in the news this week?
Ari Emanuel? Or Rahm Emanuel? Which one did he play? He played Rahm Emanuel.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep. That was his big political
Blizzard Man. I forgot about Blizzard Man. Rappity-roo.
So, and then Russell's got Bobby Moynihan, Jay Farrow, Kyle Mooney, and Beck Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
So strong.
So Beck's a wash. Beck does me no good tonight, but...
Yeah, because he's on both your teams.
Exactly.
I honestly think between you having Samberg and Strong and McKinnon, you're in a really good spot. Because they're going to need girls to play opposite Samberg.
As long as the show doesn't open with a presidential seal, I think I'm in good hands. Because if Farrow shows up and
openings,
gets 15 points for being in that, 20 for saying the line, recurring character and all that stuff, then I'm in a lot of trouble early on.
Yeah, because that's 40 points in itself.
But recurring
opening live from New York.
If Samberg himself is in the old opening, there's a bunch of points.
You pretty much are smooth sailing for the rest of the show.
Yeah, I could coast. It's 11:29. I'm nervous.
All right, shall we start this?
Let's do this.
All right, switch it over. Tiva Pop.
Are we live?
Live TV.
Milk inspired by nature and made from
Well, this is a milk commercial.
deserves a glass.
Oh, you only have 480? You don't have a high def?
I go high def one.
Ooh. Is this a high def TV? Oh, here we go.
No!
Oh! Pharaoh! Pharaoh!
No!
Oh, you're fucked!
It's not Obama, though, but it doesn't matter.
Jay-Z, he's definitely done Jay-Z. That is a recurring. You're fucked!
Welcome to Trivia Club.
Hey there, boy or girl, and welcome to Deep Thoughts on SNL, an SNL review and discussion podcast based on the SNL Fantasy League, which, if you don't know, is kind of like a sports fantasy league, but using cast members instead of athletes and scoring them based on that. And if you are new to this, then oh my, you are in for just a mess of an episode. Today, myself, Leah, Brian, Matt, Russell, and Saad will first wrap up the Fantasy League and figure out who won. As you heard in the opening, Matt was 100 points behind Russell going into this episode. So basically a horse race between those two. Then Leah, Brian, Russell, and myself will stick around and talk about the episode proper. Then next week, we will have a season retrospective, our thoughts on the season as a whole. And we will be doing the regular news segment that week. Anyway, this week we're talking about the finale, hosted by former cast member Andy Samberg, with musical guest St. Vincent. It's season 39, episode 21, aired May 17th, 2014. The sketch list. Well, first of all, St. Vincent performed Digital Witness and Birth in Reverse. Then we had Cold Open, Jay-Z and Solange. Monologue about Samberg's impressions, Camp Wickawabi. A digital short, When Will the Bass Drop? Confident Hunchback. Weekend update with Kyle Mooney returning as Bruce Chandling and Andy Samberg returning as Nicolas Cage with guest Paul Rudd. The Vogelchecks came back. Waking Up with Kim Ye came back. A digital short, Hugs, a music video by The Lonely Island. Legolas at Taco Bell, Blizzard Man, and the porn stars pitch watches. So yeah, enjoy the episode. If you want to follow Deep Thoughts on Twitter, oh my god, we got retweeted by NBC and our followers tripled, so we might have new listeners who are going to be incredibly lost. As for the next 40 minutes, we basically just talk about the league and yeah. But Deep Thoughts SNL is the Twitter handle. We tweet about news about SNL, its current cast, its alumni, blah blah blah. You are probably either listening to this on SoundCloud or iTunes, and just so you know, you can listen to it on the other platform. iTunes is probably easier. You just subscribe to the Trivia Club Network. That's a feed with us and a bunch of sister podcasts that are probably going to go into high gear going into the summer break. We'll come back with something. We're not entirely sure what. For now, though, check out triviaclub.blogspot.com. That's where Russel Harder, who is in charge of the SNL Fantasy League, breaks down every episode and the official point tally. He's here today to give an official point tally, none of my fake point tally bullshit. And then the music underneath me right now is done by my friend Philip Kanaka, so thank you for that. Anyway, that's it. Alright, let's head into the episode proper.
And now, Deep Thoughts.
Alright, so, shall we just get into it?
I'm
Wait,
excited.
can I say hi to Saad? Hi, Saad.
What up, BFF?
What's up?
We'll edit all this out.
First time he's been on the podcast, first time you've been on the podcast
This
together.
is the most exciting moment for Leah and Saad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm happy for it. Yeah. I can hear her blush through the microphone.
It's just a tale of friendship playing out. It's so sweet.
Tale as old as time. Alright.
Song as old as rose.
Alright, so we got Russell. Russell has made an official point tally, which might be controversial in itself because he is in the lead currently.
I have a long appeals process that's ready to play out at any
So
minute.
many shenanigans.
Well, we went through how many of those different items in the chat thread where it's like, okay, so do you get points every time you kiss someone? Do you get points every time you work with a former cast member, or is it just blanket across the entire show? Blah, blah, blah. Russell more or less settled that, and it will probably be in his blog post. But, Russell, do you want to take it from here in terms of... you can reveal it whenever you want. You can drag Matt along and as much suspense as you want. Shall we do it?
We shall do it. Yes.
Go for it.
Yes. I want to say to start off, too, thank you, everyone, for taking part in this Trivia Club's sponsored Saturday Night Live Fantasy League.
Woo!
Yes. Yes, thank you all.
Yay!
Thank you all.
Ah!
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob, for organizing this, and thanks, Russell, for doing this every week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
A pleasure. At the end of the season, a pleasure. I even had fun building the Phil Hartman Trophy.
Nice.
Yes. This all leads to the Phil Hartman Trophy in honor of...
As
The
all
great-
of life does.
Yes, one of the greatest Canadians of all time. Phil Hartman. An amazing SNLer.
One of the greatest human beings of all time.
Mm-hmm. It's
He
true.
wasn't Jingle All the Way. Let's not let him off the hook.
That was really a Sinbad joint, though.
Let's not whitewash history. He wasn't Jingle all the way.
Poor choice of words in this very controversial race-hinged season, Leah.
But it's such
It was a very
diverse
deliberate.
podcast. Yeah, it's such a
Today.
diverse podcast.
I'm offended already.
This is going to be a clusterfuck of a podcast. Let's keep going! So much fun. Russell.
Yes, so the points, I won't get into detail, but the points really made things close. I will say that ultimately, the difference was to a sketch. Just to a sketch.
Wow.
Hey.
And ultimately, by 46 points...
Wow.
We're
Yes.
all winners, is what you're
We're
saying.
all winners, yeah.
I think I pulled ahead, right? In the last
Exactly.
episode?
The winner is, with 3,182 points, the $1 million Bill Murrays did not win. No. The ignorant sluts, ladies and gentlemen, with 3,228 points,
Wow.
are this year's winner. Yes, the inaugural winner of the Phil Hartman Trophy, SNL Fantasy League. Congratulations to Matt Smith.
Yay!
Yay! Boo! Is what my heart says.
Beach.
Is that Matt?
I think he had a stroke.
Matt,
wait.
do you want to say some words?
Pandemonium over here.
There was a solid minute there where you had said the team names that had won, and I realized I cannot keep track of whose team is who, so I didn't know who you were saying.
You're like, who are the $1 Million Bill Murrays?
I knew I was watching.
I'd like to thank Paul Rudd for having a barely available schedule.
Yes.
I'd like to thank Kristen
Yes.
Wiig for not doing anything lately. Everybody's availability in the New York region. Fred Armisen for working a staircase away. Because that's what really swung things, I think. Just a bunch of former hosts and cast members showing up. Am I correct?
It's true. I will say, yeah, like having been in the lead for most of the season with the $1 Million Bill Murrays, it's heartbreaking to have lost the grasp on that trophy in the final half an hour.
And this was probably the only year.
Episode.
This is the only year you would have been able to do it, because next year we're taking out your goddamn opening sketch points.
But I'm saying it's like, if I was going to lose to anything, I'm happy it was like, in part, in my mind, Kate McKinnon vigorously tongue kissing Paul Rudd. That was, I couldn't have asked for anything more.
Right,
and in another part, basically shunting aside the entire current cast in order to bring in the old cast.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the entire cast for that family.
It started off really dire for me because the opening sketch, and I'm thinking, as long as they start off without the presidential seal showing up, then Jay Farrow's not involved, I'm set.
And then it's Jay Farrow sings live from New York as a reoccurring Jay-Z character.
If they could have just held their shit together and not had to have some incident in public, then it wouldn't have even been a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Matt, I think what you're saying is that your team put in 110%. You really put your legs on the field. You had to drive the ball to the end.
We left everything out there on the field. It was a total team effort, and without God, nothing is possible. So I'd like to thank the Almighty.
Now, if there was a certain theme park you said you would be going to, which theme park would that be?
I'm going to Six Flags Cleveland.
Woo! Dun, 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 dun,
I tried to find that song on Erdio the other day, and they didn't have it.
Sport metaphor.
Now, hold on. For a slight digression, that was the Six Flags song. Which was the song that Jimmy Fallon danced to in a Pepsi commercial?
Ooh.
Oh, shoot.
Because one of them is obviously going to end the episode now.
You are deep cutting it for deep thoughts.
Hang on. It's like
Those the
baseline
Venga
or
Boys
something?
did that one for the Six Flags, right? We like the party.
Oh, I think it's Newton Streamline. Let me see if I'm right.
Anyway, so...
Who's in third? Who's in third?
Yeah, that's true. Who's in third, Russell? Me and Brian.
Ooh, you and Brian. And it comes down to not even close.
Jesus Christ.
No,
that sounds bad for me.
He still won by 100 points over you for third place. Yeah, Brian still got 100 points more than...
It was really my crappy host draft. It really was. No Benedict Cumberbatch. No Aaron Paul in a cameo. No Jennifer Lawrence or Chiwetel Ejiofor or Peter Dinklage.
Well, you got points for him showing up, though.
Aaron Paul, just like 2 cameo points.
I had
Well,
Joseph
Peter
Gordon-Levitt.
Dinklage showed up, too.
I had Joseph
that's
Gordon-Levitt, Rebel Wilson, Seth Green, terrible. Chris Hemsworth, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, Anna Faris.
I'll never let you live down Seth Green.
You shut up. First
Really
place.
the wrong Seth. The wrong Seth.
I think what
Even
we really
McFarlane,
what we all came here to know is who came in dead last.
Oh.
Is it
That
Leah?
last night, I
Is
don't
it
think
Leah?
there's any surprises.
It's not Leah! And, I did actually win something.
Leah did win something. She won the head-to-head versus portion.
That
of the
nobody was paying attention to.
That
I didn't
I
really
didn't
hype
even
it too
remember it.
I didn't even know
hype it
that
too
was a
much
thing.
Because most of the season I was unbeaten, so I didn't want to be like, hey, guys, another thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, absolutely
must
no
admit-
offense to Russell, because obviously you put a lot of that time and effort into it, and we really appreciate that. Absolutely.
We do.
Thank you.
Russell wants to run through some stats.
Yeah. I'll start off by saying Andy Samberg. I think the prior highest points for a host was the 100 that John Goodman got because of a few former hosts coming in and what have you. And then we also haven't kept track of hosts that we haven't drafted.
Yep.
So that also leaves that a little bit up in the air. But, I mean, with Seth Meyers, Bill Hader,
Fred Armisen, Kristen Wiig, Maya Rudolph.
All these people
Martin Short.
Paul Rudd.
Bill
Andy
Hader.
Samberg got 164 points by
Jesus
himself.
Christ.
When I saw that, I was just like,
Matt wins.
We don't have a hope, do I?
Matt wins.
It's a good thing that there wasn't also points given out for just celebrity impressions, because then it would have been
Yeah,
over.
it's true.
I rewatched Moneyball last night, so all in my mind is that, well, clearly next year we're all going to break down our drafts, and everyone's going to be getting former cast members. We've reimagined the game. We've re-established the game.
We've broken the game now.
Now that how it works, it's going to get so tedious.
I mean, if anybody doesn't just cast old cast members, then they're dinosaurs and they're going to die off.
I'm looking forward to doing this again, but honestly, I'm hoping I'm in also ran in some way, because it got so late in the game, it became, here comes Bobby Moynihan again, and I'd roll my eyes. It's like, I love Bobby Moynihan.
Yeah.
If it wasn't clear to anybody else, we did record some live thoughts during commercial breaks from Matt during the episode, where he's just going through a roller coaster of emotions.
It was fantastic to watch.
Did I wish death upon John Milheiser at some point last night?
You were very glad to see him commit seppuku in the digital short.
I did wish death upon
that was poetic. That was so
against
poetic.
Bobby Moynihan. I hope some equipment backstage had fallen on him. Didn't he actually commit Harry Carey? Because I believe seppuku is when you take off your own genitals.
No, I think seppuku is when you...
Why do you know so much about this?
Because I used it incorrectly once, and someone corrected me.
How does that person know so much about this?
That person is the coolest person you know.
Russell, do you want to run through some more stats while you have the chance?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll say, just in terms of the ignorant sluts, McKinnon really was the blue chipper this year for Matt's team. The MVP of the season, probably, and just truly the MVP of the season. But keep on getting him
general,
points.
like quality of output and everything.
Impressions alone.
And even though he drafted John Milheiser, I mean, no one's perfect. He still had Beck Bennett.
It was like winning a marathon with a broken leg.
True. You soldiered through that.
We're really not getting any cast members on this show after these remarks. I just want to say that.
Well, Milheiser's not going to be on the show next year anyway. It's fine.
Aww. He seems like such a nice guy.
I like him.
Yeah, it's not.
I'm going to stage my own live show, and he can be on that.
I'm sure he's very...
With blackjack and hookers.
It's nothing personal. It's as far removed from personal as one can get by going through the numbers of one's performance in comedy.
It's not his fault that whenever they needed somebody extra to throw into a sketch, they would always use Keenan or somebody else, and just you can be our bartender, you can be our Taco Bell employee or whatnot. And
speaking of bartender too, I would say Beck Bennett, who was a bartender in that Quasimodo sketch this week, he was like the McKinnon of this year's rookie class. He's the guy that's going to be already a featured cast member, part of the larger cast next year. I
would have thought Sashir. I mean, just if you only look at this second half of the year, Sashir might have been the pinch hitter for the featured people.
She's going to be a top draft pick next year, sure. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Even her, it took her. I think there would be some highlight sketches where she was clearly the main character in them, but it would be one per episode, and those episodes would be spaced apart. So. Yeah. I think she made a bit of an impact, but
what Beck had was consistency throughout the season.
What we're saying... Sorry, go ahead.
Very late in the season, she started getting more featured roles in the sketch. Very early on, she was just in background or in the group stuff.
Well, I feel like she got a lot of sketches alongside Keenan and Jay, and that's when all the race controversy started, because they actually started talking about race.
Mm-hmm. Or continuing and playing off the race controversy that had popped up and made her a part of the cast. In a way.
Yeah. Well, this will be something we talk about in the season retrospective. The story of race.
Oh, and of course, the story of race.
I have some
as old as time.
Another ace in the hole was Cecily Strong for
really?
Matt.
We thought because
she had an uneven season for being the co-host of Weekend Update, but something that can't be understated was the fact that she was the co-host for Weekend Update, and that's a 50-point swing at the start of the season, and the fact that it went by 46. I mean,
that alone got it the win by itself. Wow.
So bravo.
Wow.
Bravo.
Yeah, because I thought she more or less fell off alongside Vanessa Bayer towards the end of the season.
No,
It's true. Like
barely
this
as
show,
much as
she didn't have the
Vanessa
strongest show. She was in Camp Wickawee and Confident Hunchback, but otherwise she was in Weekend Update until the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kept centering sketches around her too, but like that one with Andrew Garfield with the orphan, and she's the one who comes in and starts taking the food, or that dog food commercial one with Seth Rogen.
And I
they kept
mean,
giving her these spotlight sketches.
Amazing sketch. Fuck you, Leah.
I was going to say, that was an awful sketch.
Amazing sketch. Best of Cecily Strong.
And the baby is pulled outside
with 18 people in your cast. If you get even one sketch a week where you are clearly the star of it, like,
it's very impressive.
Good for you.
Yeah,
Which is why
I don't feel like she fell off at the season at all. I feel like she was always featured, and she was always like a lead in whatever she was in. She was never just like the throwaway character, which so many of them are.
Well, speaking of which, I think that's why Kyle Mooney probably has a much more secure spot than I think the internet is giving him credit for. Because he had one sketch a week that was the Kyle Mooney minute.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
Oh, I think Kyle Mooney's fine.
I'm surprised he's not considered a lock by everybody at this point.
Yeah, AV Club hasn't, like, they
put him on update in the finale.
With a recurring character from the season premiere as a weird bookend. AV Club has him, like, on the line.
My heart sank when I saw that.
The other thing is we actually traded Beck Bennett and Kyle Mooney because I had Kyle Mooney at the beginning of the season. And when we compared the points, they really did. I mean, they really were very close. And I mean, Beck was a little bit more, but Kyle Mooney was right behind him.
It'd be interesting if we can go back and count up all the Beck Bennett and Kyle Mooney points and compare them to each other. Maybe
shouldn't be too hard.
Maybe me and Russell can work on that for the season retrospective, like what each cast member did over the entire season.
In terms of featured points for this episode, featured cast member, I mean, Sashir Sumeda was still the top. She, with the cold open and the live from New York, she got 55 points. But then after her was Kyle Mooney with 35.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Beck Bennett was after him with 20, and that was...
Well, you started so strong in the season for me.
Well, before Matt and Saad have to go, should we go through like the entire cast and how many points each person got?
Certainly. So, repertory cast, your number one, or actually tied for number one, for different reasons, with 75 points, Kate McKinnon.
Nice.
Yeah. Probably stronger overall show, but also she was supported very much in the vocal checks sketch by not only tongue-kissing Paul Rudd, but being in that sketch with everyone from Maya Rudolph to Bill Hader. That's a pretty,
likey.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's a pretty big swing. I think it's like 45 points.
Did you have a reaction when you saw that sketch, person? Like, was there anything?
Oh, I was just
up and down all night long. So.
I was like, seriously? Kate McKinnon has to be the grandma? Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that felt like if that wasn't enough for to have like Andy Samberg making out with people, then like Kate McKinnon going full out. My God. Yeah.
Russell was hoping for Bobby Moynihan in drag.
I was hoping for, exactly. At least. And that's
how many glasses did you break last night?
I might not have furniture in my house right now. So, and she was tied with Jay Farrow with 75 points.
Oh,
wow!
70 points, Taron Killam.
Was his fast food employee a recurring character?
Oh, that was the one. That wasn't. Although
he was playing John Milheiser in the future.
Wow!
Wow!
One last one.
Wow! Get
he is
the
a human
fuck out.
being.
His name is going to be with yours on a trophy, Matt.
I know.
He did give you some points.
He's the Christian Leitner of my team.
Now, see, if you took John Milheiser out, though, would you still have one? I think you might have.
I didn't know
he gave you more than 46 points.
John Milheiser must have done 46 points over the entire season.
Exactly.
Anyway,
it's a close call.
This list. Let's go through the cast.
Taron Killam with 70 points. And that was mostly just like coming in and side characters throughout the entire day. Throughout the entire show, but 70 points. 70 points for Kenan Thompson.
What?
Once again, side characters, yeah.
Ugh.
Be it the bodyguard or having his head explode in the bass drop.
Wait, did he show up alongside former cast members?
The only one he showed up alongside former cast members was Maya Rudolph.
That's so weird, because he was in that cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird.
I'm sure he spoke to them at the after party, so it's not like it's a
scandal.
Guys,
remember me when you're looking for people to play your funny cast buddy in your movies.
Yeah, guys, I'm still here. Yep.
Well, there was one main sketch that had all those people in it, and they were playing a family, so...
And then they got a white boyfriend. Cancel SNL.
Wait, but it was a gay boyfriend.
Yeah, so progress.
Have we learned nothing from Michael Sam?
All right.
Okay, Bobby Moynihan had 40 points.
Not bad.
Not bad. Vanessa Bayer and Cecily Strong had 37 points. I wasn't actually sure that Vanessa Bayer was actually going to have any points until she started showing up after the first digital short.
What was she? I don't remember her. Oh, yeah.
Bull Gaga.
Yeah.
And
the Gary Watches. And the Super Hits Studios.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, right. Okay.
I was sad that 2 Chainz couldn't be a former host points. He seemed to really enjoy himself, actually.
He was rocking it, right? He was so into it. He was
being entertained by the one and only Blizzard Man.
Exactly.
That's true, because he did it, you guys. Blizzard Man did it.
First take.
They call him one take.
A.D. Bryant had 32 points, and then the bottom rep cast member still had 30 points with Nasim Pedrad. Oh. I mean, it was a strong show overall for the
main cast,
for the repertory.
It felt like Nasim Pedrad might have had her biggest show, though.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised by 30 points, because she was up in front in like a few sketches, I feel like.
Yeah.
It's probably her last episode, too.
The thing with this show, though...
Is that true, though? Is it her last episode?
It's not confirmed, but she's on a sitcom for 16 episodes starting in the fall.
My understanding is they're working around her schedule, but...
I think, they said that when it was only going to be 6 episodes. We
and
haven't
it got
heard anything
a full...
since they expanded to 16.
They want to make sure they have her for all those sketches they use her in?
Yeah, I was going to say, why would she stick around?
We need people to play barmaids. We need the barmaids.
The thing with Nasim, though, and her 30 points is she just wasn't in any sketches with the returning cast members.
And there's no singing, dancing stuff.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And Kim Kardashian. Oh, and then featured, Sashiro again with 55. Kyle Mooney with 35. Beck Bennett, 20 points. Still great. And then the people that were only in one sketch each all 4 of them in When Will the Bass Drop? Noel Wells and Brooks, even though they were dancing, they only had 15 points. And then John Milheiser and Mike O'Brien, one committing Harry Carey, Sudoku, and then Mike O'Brien giving away all that money, 10 points.
God damn it, Mike O'Brien!
You wonderful.
And they have to be the cast members who are on the line for the chop block, right?
I would say so, but I still think Mike O'Brien's coming back.
I think Mike O'Brien has another season worth of goodwill from being a writer.
Yeah, I think so too.
And he had that monster sketch.
Yeah.
He had a lot of good sketches, yeah.
And that one where he's interviewing bugs was fantastic.
Have you read the...
make that reoccurring. It was so wonderful.
Have you read the Bill Hader quote?
That basically, to summarize and paraphrase it, it's when you're brought onto the show, you're told that there's a circle of what you find funny and a circle of what SNL finds funny, and you have to find the Venn diagram. And Mike O'Brien never cared about the Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what Bill Hader said.
And that's the kind of goodwill that's going to make him.
And that results in him doing a line-free role in one digital short in the season finale.
Yeah, I mean but it's still going to be the kind of goodwill that keeps him around for at least another season as a cast member. I would say.
Well, I don't know. I feel like the last couple of episodes he really has kind of branched out and shown a little bit more.
Oh yeah,
I think he'll be fine next year.
He's no Tim Robinson, that's for sure.
And he can ride Cecily's coattails at least 2 more seasons.
Oh,
come on. Oh,
I want to see him kiss more on screen.
They
haven't done that nearly enough this season.
For the first half of the season, he was my dud, and then the second half, Noel was my dud. So he definitely moved up in points.
She really dropped off.
Yeah, she's gone. Bye,
they
Noelle.
brought in another female new cast member. They can't have two doing a lot of stuff.
Guys, there can only be so much female comedy on one show.
There can only be so many females.
Before Twitter flips the pool
Especially when we haven't even figured out if women are funny or not.
Well, we learned
Yeah,
this
that
Sunday.
is
We
still
learned
weird.
tonight on the
Yeah.
Women of SNL special whether or not women are ever funny.
Hashtag cancel deep thoughts.
Leah, are women funny? Prove it. Be funny right now.
Me?
Hey, it looks like she couldn't do it, guys.
Science.
Let's all just grab our dicks and be hilarious now.
Yeah.
I would be funny, but I'm on my period. Sorry.
Actually, that was hilarious.
She's a genius.
So I believe Matt and Saad have to go soon. Do either of them have any final words?
Matt, you go first as the champion.
I believe his champion's right to go last, but whatever.
Wow.
Ooh.
It's gone right to his head.
God,
It went
Madonna.
He's
went
the
to my head,
Ruxin
like,
of the
probably
league.
week 1 when I was probably in 5th place, and I still nah, I'm going to take this thing. No, it's been a lot of fun, and it's been great, building friendships amongst this crazy little thing that we've been doing that's embarrassing to tell the outside world about, but it's still been, it's anybody who I tell about it, and it's like, I got to be a part of this next year. If they don't look at you like you're some sort of mutant, then they're on board with it completely. So, I'm looking forward to doing it again, and it's been a lot of fun. And I want to thank Russell for keeping all the points and keeping it honest and doing the right thing.
You're welcome.
And thank my parents for making me the man that I am today. And we have to do something about the situation in Uganda. If I get, wait, sorry, they're playing me off. So it's been. So
Good job, good guy, Matt.
Yeah, thanks very much, and bye, and
And Saad, we unfortunately haven't been able to have you on the podcast before, and this is unfortunately pretty brief. I'd love for you to come back for the season retrospective, so we can have another perspective on it.
I would be delighted to come on for the season retrospective. Absolutely.
Okay.
I just to echo some of Matt's sentiments, like, this has been a pretty awesome experience. I'm also getting to know everybody in the league as well, and just getting to know SNL a little bit better as well was great. I wanted to thank specifically Russell for constantly private messaging me to give him song choices, and me constantly ignoring
favoritism.
Whoa, Matt is if Matt had lost, he would have gone nuclear at that.
Guys, I just have to say one thing. All of our favorites, the favorite of all of us is Saad. That goes without saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Saad's my best friend.
Saad's the only one who hasn't pissed off somebody else.
I love you, Saad.
Let's not put that out there.
He's the best.
I don't like
He
where this is going.
There's a high bar that we are setting for you, and if you disappoint us at any point,
Well, I mean, him and Matt do get it, but they're roommates, so I mean, I guess it's natural that they kind of get into tips every now and then. But
wait, they're roommates?
The mythology now is that we're roommates on the podcast as well.
Yes. Are you guys? Yeah.
Well, you guys are roommates, and me and Leah are both each other's mothers.
Yes.
This elaborate comedy Bang Bang style mythos that we're creating.
I got the whole summer to come up with something for me. Damn it.
There you go.
Just let it come natural, man.
And it all seems prescient because we were talking about Orphan Black, and then Tatiana Maslany shows up. So there you go.
Oh, yeah.
What a great cameo. I hope they have her on more. That was great.
If she doesn't host next season, I will be shocked. Somebody has to pick that girl.
I'm not. I'm being very conservative with my choices this year.
Somebody who's picking all females has to pick that girl.
Leah, you gotta pick Tatiana.
Could you draft her 5
Ali?
times for like each clone?
Yes, Tatiana Ali.
I draft Tatiana Ali. Ashley Banks.
Oh, I thought that was Muhammad Ali's daughter.
That's
I have no idea.
That's Layla Ali.
You know that.
Now, we've really interrupted Saad's final words.
Oh, no problem. Again, hopefully you'll be hearing more from both Russell and and everybody else on here during some more Trivia Club podcasts we hope to put out there. Starting with Newport Forever, our tribute to the OC.
California.
I almost think one podcast per episode of the show is probably not enough. I think you got to do 3 episodes of a podcast per one episode of the show. You got to break it down.
Absolutely. God. You guys know what I like about rich kids?
Their problems?
Nothing. That was awesome.
You got to have an entire episode about Peter Gallagher's eyebrows.
Oh.
I look forward to the Chrismica Traditions podcast.
I was so jealous Seth had such a cool dad. He surfs! He surfs! What more do you need to say?
I don't even surf.
There you go. But yeah, again, just a pleasure being on here, and I hope to be on the next one.
All right. Well, thank you so much to both of you. I'll let you both go now, and then the rest of us will remain and talk about the episode.
All right. Woo! Bye, Leah. Bye.
Bye, people.
I miss you.
Virtual hug.
And once again, congratulations, man.
Yay.
Already.
I think he's gone. I don't know.
All right. Bye, guys.
Yep.
Focusing on the episode specifically, fun episode, right?
It was super fun.
It was highly fun.
Now, I'm probably not alone in saying that my nostalgia for the cast of 5 years ago really colored a lot of sketches to the point where I didn't mind the return of the Vogelchecks.
Yep.
Speaking of things coloring, though, I did find myself annoyed by so many returning cast members. I think I was also just biased to the fact that it put me in a bad position points-wise. What are you doing?
But it was so delightful. Any other time, you would have thought it was absolutely delightful.
It was delightful. And as a side note, I thought when you were talking about coloring, you were going to go to the race place.
I also thought that's where this was going.
Me too.
Anyway, no, I find, because we were talking about it in person, me, Brian, and Matt, and it's just really so rare that cast people come back. And I guess in retrospect, it's really weighted towards episodes where a former cast member is hosting.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's still almost impossible to predict.
I
think it is.
I feel like this season there was a lot of cast members that randomly popped up.
I
mean, we've had Amy Poehler, we've had Fred Armisen before.
We couldn't predict Armisen was going to fucking work as a band leader one floor up. Nobody predicted that. Even he's like, what the fuck am I doing?
But this is also a little bit special because you had Seth leaving halfway through, so of course people are going to come back for that. That's not going to happen every year.
I guess that's true as well. I wasn't taking that.
That was a big part of it.
Thanks.
You don't think it's the start to a revolving door of those guys that left just the last year, they're going to be back around every once in a while.
Well, I feel like we have started a pattern of, wasn't it Kristen Wiig last season finale?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Kristen came back the next year.
And actually it recalls, remember one of our earliest podcasts, we were talking about that Yahoo, I think, article about stuff to live in SNL, make it fresh again.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
One was making the dress rehearsal shorts available, or sketches available, which they have done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not in Canada.
Well, and then the other one was a kind of a milestone episode where every year you'd have a bunch of cast returning, and that's kind of what it feels like is happening.
And there's no doubt, and that's no doubt going to happen on season 40. That's going to be, if we think that the finale is nostalgic, it's going to be a great, I guess, return of not only the last era that just ended, but then all the way from the 90s, and the original cast is probably going to pop in the larger numbers, the whole bit.
Bill Murray's going to host.
Do you think that?
Fingers crossed.
Do you think that the fact that Lorne Michaels is now a little bit older and maybe he's a little bit softer, that cast members enjoy coming back more because maybe he gets... Because I feel like there was a lot of tension. There's a lot of stories about Lorne Michael and bad blood between him and former cast members.
Well, I feel like in the last 10 years, the story has been it's much less competitive than it ever was.
Yeah.
Well, that's why... Do you think that maybe former cast members are much more likely to come back because they actually like it now?
They actually enjoyed working at SNL?
Yeah.
And I think, too, it's like not only does time heal all wounds, but the fact that, like, when Kristen Wiig left, her goodbye sketch was probably the most heartfelt any goodbye has ever been given.
Absolutely. The tears, multiple.
Yeah.
Instead of
Lorne
all,
Michaels is definitely softened with age. No doubt.
instead of
about
like all the girls like sharpening their knives, going, "All right, all this screen time up for grabs."
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like
That's my impression
Cat
of every
noise.
female.
Meow.
That's my impression of every female. Wait, did a cat just show up?
Meow.
Quick, a hat dropped.
Oh,
Why is a hat screaming? Why is a hat screaming?
Russell didn't listen to the last episode.
Yes,
I did.
Do we want to go through the sketches then?
Yeah.
What do we feel about the opening?
I quite liked it a lot.
I would say this is the only opening I've enjoyed all season.
Yeah, it was super. When they got into what they were actually saying in the video,
I
was
loved
gonna
it
say,
with the
if it-
spider.
If it wasn't for that part of it, if it had just been them sitting down
Yeah,
and talking
absolutely.
about the video, it would have been just a huge dud. But that single part of it elevated the entire sketch.
one of the lines of the night for me was "foot 5" when she kicks him.
I loved
Oh,
that.
it's back! Kick it!
It was
was
great.
great.
And then when they brought out Beyonce, so good. So good.
Yeah.
Now,
Now-
go ahead.
We kind of talked about Beyonce and how none of us are Beyonce fans a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But were you guys, honestly, like this week, were you guys very, very enthralled in finding out what happened in this elevator?
I was very curious.
I was reading everything I could about
Once I found out about it, and that I spent like 5 solid minutes trying to find out if there had been even a rumored reason why Solange did this. And then once I realized there was no reason yet, I just let it slide off.
I didn't. I actually said out loud in my office and somebody came in because I was like, I need to know what happened. And somebody was like, are you okay?
Really unprofessional workplace.
Like
You're
everyone
just
else, I
family
found out.
problems.
I found out about through Twitter, seeing tweets twinkle in about it. I go, wait, what's going on? Why are they
Twinkling
mentioning
tweets?
Beyonce? Tweets trickling
Twinkling
in.
tweets?
Twickle
And you go, what's going on? I don't understand. Like, and there's a video. Oh, I should check that out. And eventually, I thought, this is going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently the security guard got fired, but he got $250,000 for the footage in the first place, so boom, worth it.
Boom.
Worth it.
Bank. Yeah. You gonna work at a standard hotel? Or you gonna make $250,000?
And just sit on your ass thinking about that day that Solange kicked JC and made your life rich.
I would totally leak that video. The people want to know. Come on.
Yeah.
They're
enjoyed
so
Bobby
guarded
Moynihan
with
as
their
that-
perception. Like,
as that
it's
security guard.
crazy.
Yeah, Bobby Moynihan was fun.
Yeah, the security guard.
Yeah,
making out with himself in the mirror and break dancing.
I just liked the presentation of it. It's like, they have not released the security guard's information, but we will. Kevin Donovan.
You know they would, too.
Yeah,
Black Crusaders would totally go after that guy.
Whoa. That is a 30 Rock joke, and you are turning into something real and uncomfortable.
Welcome to the real zone on Deep Thoughts.
Ooh. Hashtag cancel Deep Thoughts.
Is it time, Ava, you talking you two to me, is it time to go into our show, Real Zone?
Break out the theme song.
No, I'll just cut it out. Anyway. But yeah, that was fun. And then, okay, so the monologue. Maybe my favorite monologue, but I
think it was maybe my favorite monologue
of the season. Samberg is very dear to my heart. Samberg came in just as I was starting to watch the show, and his sense of humor was so in tune with mine. So I have so much nostalgia for Samberg, maybe more than any other cast member. So seeing him embrace his terrible impressions, so endearing to me.
Were they bad? I thought they were really good.
Some of them were good. Some of them
were
good.
They're on purpose bad.
On purpose bad.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Which
the
makes
fact
them
that
good.
he called out the fact that it's like, and I've been in 6 live sketches.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I said as Deep Thoughts on Twitter, just like, he might be in more live sketches tonight than he has ever been in one episode as a cast member.
That would not be surprising to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know about you, Russell. There was a palpable tension in the room when we're waiting. Who's going to show up? Who's going to show up during this monologue? Which former cast members are popping in? And he mentions it's Justin Timberlake. Justin Timberlake's not coming here. I was like, oh,
Come on.
Brian, didn't you doubt when I said, oh, he mentioned he's in competition with Hader? Obviously, Hader's going to show up. And you were like, I don't know.
No, I don't think so. I don't think I doubted it.
I think you doubted me.
Well, play it back.
Brian definitely doubted you.
No, I don't.
Why
would I?
There was a real dissension in the room.
But anyway, Hader, angry Hader showing up.
That was great.
Wonderful. Seth Meyers was a bit of a non-presence.
Was he in anything until the end?
Well, Seth Meyers is a bit of a
non-presence.
Yeah. On late night, he's a non-presence.
Ooh.
I watch late night, and I do not really care for it.
I just want to say, NBC retweeted Deep Thoughts last night, so we are clearly on their radar.
Everybody say nice things.
It didn't deserve the applause, you asshole.
How many favorites and retweets?
Are you calling me an asshole?
Did you applaud? I thought it was Brian.
Yeah. I don't know.
We went from
two fish fighting.
We went from 130 followers to about 335 last I checked.
Kudos.
I didn't realize.
Come after us, you guys.
I didn't realize telling you not to applaud would lead to awkward silence.
No, I think
that's nice.
It is. And it was a retweet about anal beads, so that just makes it even better.
Oh, who doesn't love a? No, I'm not.
What?
Those anal beads are coming up. Just you wait.
It's currently at 84 retweets and
they're
186
coming
favorites.
up.
Oh.
I want the world to know I got beads in my ass.
Oh, that doesn't rhyme.
My girlfriend just made the worst face behind me.
The trick is she doesn't know what you're listening to, and the fact that you're singing this.
No, I've been pestering her all day and all night with, oh my god, how many followers do we got? Oh my god. But the monologue, very delightful. Then Martin Short shows up for some reason.
It was weird. That was a little awkward, right?
I think we...
It was a little awkward, and he doesn't even hug him.
He's
at
a
the
friend
end
of the family.
Now, hold on. What was his role in it? Because I think me, Brian, and Matt all just went, Martin Short!
Yeah,
and
we're just yelling.
We talked over whatever line he had that justified why he was there.
So did Andy Samberg and Bill Hader and Seth Meyers, to be fair. Nobody paid attention to Martin Short whatsoever being on that stage.
Wasn't he like the Seth Meyers to Bill Hader?
He came out and...
He was like the introducer of Bill Hader.
Remember.
No, Bill Hader came out before Martin Short.
Yeah.
Bill
Hader did come. Martin Short was the last person to come out.
Was that like a sneaky program for Mulaney?
I think that's what happened. I think it was just,
He's there.
Yeah, he's there.
I was shocked Stefan did not show up.
I was absolutely shocked.
Whether on Update, because Seth was there. Seth didn't even step into
And it
Update.
was their 1-year anniversary this week.
Yep, and then I noted in the Waking Up with Kimye sketch, Andy Samberg almost said, he practically said, your wedding will have everything.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
It would have been great to have Stefan on as the wedding planner.
Yeah.
Plus, it would have broken the format, which is exactly what we keep on asking.
I don't know why they didn't have Bill Hader come out as Stefan be the wedding planner.
That's exactly what I just said.
You said Seth.
Oh, did I?
Yes, you did.
I meant to say
son
Stefan.
of a bitch.
I meant to say Stefan, and Brian will witness because I actually said it last night.
True story, everyone.
Great story, compelling and rich.
This
I could add so
what
much.
happened last night?
Camp Wickawabi?
Camp Wickawabi.
Anything
I
to
would
say
see
about
that as a girlfriend's talk show-esque thing, but it has potential, but it was also, I think, part of the format.
For me, Kyle Mooney was the hero of that one.
Kyle Mooney was the hero of that one. Andy Samberg, his eyebrows. What was going on tonight with his eyebrows?
I didn't notice the eyebrows. I didn't. Can you
Every
explain
single
the situation?
sketch. It seems like they're very light and they're very thin right now, and I don't understand what's going on with
He's a Golden Globe winner.
He's a twins.
Twins. I hate that. I honestly hate it. But
well,
I say
one's for his show, the other one's for him.
Yeah. But apparently he's a producer, is what?
Yeah, he's a producer.
Is how Brian justified it when I asked last night.
Yeah.
True story.
There you go.
This woman and what happened last night.
As much as I love Kate McKinnon as crazy woman, I think I like her as crazy child more. Like, she has this weird energy where she's like a kid who's like...
See, now this is how I know
always getting
Nassim's
into
not
trouble.
coming back next season, because that would have been Nassim's bread and butter for her to be one of those kids.
No, because Nassim is the loner kid. She's not.
the weird kid.
Yeah, she wouldn't team up with 80s kid. Kate McKinnon was like the kid who is like so happy she's about to get into trouble and like smirking.
Kate McKinnon looked like a grandma in that skit as well. Look at those big glasses and like sucking on a popsicle. For some reason, I was not buying her as a child whatsoever.
Compared to 80 Bryant, Andy Samberg, and Kyle Mooney, who all looked the part.
Yeah.
Kyle Mooney had the little
not
kid.
Andy with his creepy eyebrows.
Mooney had the little kid voice down.
He did. He was very cute.
Adorable.
Oh, that was fantastic.
Then, the first digital short, which I have... So it's already up on the Lonely Island's YouTube page, both of them, but I already showed this one to my friends while I was out, when we happened to talk about... Apparently Avicii had a show in Toronto last night, which is just perfectly timed with this Da Vinci sketch. Anyway, I loved it as somebody who... was kind of briefly going to clubs in university, but I don't really understand the culture, and I don't understand how DJs are like superstars right now.
Yeah, I watched it and I was like, I appreciate where the joke is coming from, but I am a little too bitter in my heart with this whole scene to find it humorous.
I did find it hilarious. I thought it was great.
It was fun watching. It was fun watching because we were expecting digital short. Okay, this is it. They're going to break out some crazy stuff. People are coming back, recurring characters. What are they going to do? Matt was like, points. And we're like, this isn't helping me. This isn't helping me at all. He was like, oh no, damn it, Bobby was there, or whoever's there. He was getting mad during the sketch.
But it wasn't self-referential, and it wasn't even kind of the... I feel like the digital shorts broke down into kind of two halves, where the first half was the very kind of... based on the Lonely Island's web roots, it was very low budget and very kind of like absurdism. Right. And then I think around the time Akiva left the show for a little bit to prep a movie that never happened, they brought in Jonathan Krzel. They got kind of bigger production budgets, but still kind of weird. Yeah. And this kind of fell somewhere nicely in the middle, where like the production budget was clearly decent, but it felt very Lonely Island instead of kind of Jonathan Krzel, Tim and Eric, which I think the later digital shorts kind of had.
Like the
it
felt more like the I threw it on the ground.
Yes.
Yeah, very much. For the second one, which was the hugs skit.
Let's jump ahead to that, sure.
To me, that actually worked in a way that... Remember when all the girls did the Dongs song? Is that what it was called?
Dongs
all over the world? Mm.
Mm. Yes. Leah? Damn it!
Cliffhanger. So, I'm going to assume that
she's back. All right,
it was just our simultaneous dongs all over the world.
We all said dongs all over the world, and then there was silence.
It
and then
broke
I think,
the internet.
Did Brian? Was it Brian who went?
I assume so. True story, everyone.
I felt like where dongs all over the world was supposed to be funny, and it wasn't. This one actually worked.
Disagree.
The hugs?
The hugs was actually funny, and I think it was in the sense that dongs should have been, but the hugs was actually humorous.
I actually liked When Will the Bass Drop a lot more than Hugs.
Really?
Hugs was kind of like an also ran song on the Whack album. I honestly didn't remember almost any of it when it came on, but I appreciated the music video, Tatiana Maslany, a lot of the little visual gags.
I thought it was really cute. I really, really liked it.
The visual gags were nice, but I think it had more production value and like star power going for it than actual like funny execution.
I preferred Drop the Bass too.
Yep.
Really? Huh.
Well, what I like
Once
a lot
again,
about
I am alone.
Well, something I liked about Lonely Island as a musical group is my favorite song off Whack album is probably Going Kindergarten, which is kind of very similar to When Will the Bass Drop in terms of like taking kind of a genre and an attitude of music and just taking it to a weird extreme. Like, so Going Kindergarten is like the instruction song where it's just like, drop down on the club, shake your ass, now turn around and hit somebody, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
And this music video is really good, and the whole song's about like just turn off your brain and everybody follow instructions, and it's it's making fun of a certain genre and type of song that has been showing up a lot, and I really appreciate that. And When Will the Bass Drop reminded me of that. Yeah. Versus Hugs.
It was. Russell, was it hard for you to watching something like Drop the Bass because you have to really pay attention to cast member appearances in it?
I mean, from a points perspective, it's kind of distracting, but that was more for that one, I took more do I see them outright? Otherwise, I'm not going to like pause and like go frame by frame. Yeah. And see if
when I was
maybe you lost 46 points that way.
I didn't know if Russell would be able to do an official points tally, so Russell doesn't know this, but I did have my legal pad out at Brian's house taking notes, and I was just basically jotting down initials and stuff, but I kind of got the general joke and knew I'd go back.
Yeah.
It still worked for me.
Oh yeah, it still worked for me. Mm-hmm. And from a points perspective, it wasn't impossible. Not a little difficult, but ultimately, if I have to work a little hard for some sketches, I know that's not the point for SNL, so I'm okay with it.
Very unfortunate that the featured players usually got put into roles where they didn't get any dancing points.
Like, no, it's true.
Mike O'Brien didn't get dancing points. John Milheiser only showed up to commit suicide. Yeah. We never actually saw him dance. Brooks Wheelan got a fist pump in there on his way out. I don't know if that counted.
No.
That might have counted, actually. No. Did I actually count that?
I considered it counting.
No!
That was dancing.
Is not dancing.
Leah, the league is over. There's nothing you can do. You're in like 9th or 8th or something. You can't
stop living in the past. It's over.
Leah won the versus head-to-head.
I won.
Why can't you just take that and move on and accept everything?
Be a good sport.
I will say Brooks did get that fist pump dancing points.
Have we successfully yelled down Leah?
That's not... That's
fighting her time.
Confident Hunchback.
I like this a lot, actually. I was surprised.
This was almost definitely just something that Samberg pitched, and then they it wasn't entirely well developed, but I like some of his one-liners.
I appreciated that the sketches seemed very short, so even when they didn't really have a point to them, they were short, so it was fine because they were funny, because they weren't being played out to the nth degree, and it was just mediocre to begin with.
I think it was the Andrew Garfield episode. We're talking about how the sketches are started off well and they ended well, but they're just long.
Yeah,
and this one is the episode where it just the overlying long sketches really killed that episode more than anything.
I think so. Agreed.
But the fact that like this and then Legolas orders Taco Bell.
Yeah. They were so short, but they were funny because they were short. It worked.
Like 60 seconds in and out.
I think that came from the Lonely Island ethos, where they've said that they want every song on their albums to be under 2 minutes. Because they feel like they can cram in as many jokes as possible and it doesn't overstay their welcome.
Yeah, musical comedy is a weird thing because you have to if it's not working, you're stuck there for 3.5 minutes. So you want to make it short.
What were some of the quotes from Confident Hunchback? Oh, the fedora! Like, hey, a fedora! Nope, not even on me.
Not even on me.
Yeah, that got some love last night. I saw that.
When he told Adie Bryant that she waited too long.
Yeah.
I actually like Taryn's line as well when he was like, "You got to do it. Look at this guy."
Yeah.
My spine's not the only thing that's curved.
I like 80's reaction to that. That was good.
Like horrified, then like...
Then we had update. Might this be the final update of Colin Jost?
Nope.
No. And he actually had another funny tonight.
It was good.
Another funny.
Yeah, he has 2 this season.
2 solid jokes all season.
2 solid jokes.
I feel like
I thought his funny was being called Seth again.
Well, that was funny. I was like, that's 2 weeks in a row that somebody's just called him Seth.
If this is the running joke, it's gonna be a good introductory running joke.
I was pretty defensive of Colin Jost for a long time, but I feel like Twitter is slowly turning me against him.
Are you really just allowing somebody to dirty your perception?
What was the funny he made?
I don't remember. He was pointing. He was pointing.
He had some good stuff, and then he was really good with the interview.
With Nicolas Cage?
Yeah. He was not. Yeah. He didn't say anything.
He had back and forth with them.
No, he did not.
He absolutely did.
No, he didn't.
All right, let's put this aside. Children, go stand in the corners.
You're wrong.
Can we talk about Gang in the Cage? Getting in the cage. I was so delighted.
I was
calling
delighted.
Paul Rudd clueless.
You weren't.
Fantastic.
Don't sass me, clueless. Leah, you weren't delighted?
I wanted to be delighted, but it didn't do anything for
I'm going to go teabag the Magna Carta? That did nothing for you?
I didn't think his little performance was over the top enough to really be funny. I didn't think Paul
Rudyard
Rudd
Kipling? Come on.
had a whole lot of energy going on. I didn't really enjoy it.
I think Matt stood up and cheered when that started.
And it was like a cheerable thing. I'm not saying that, but
I assume that movie has two things. One, hot lunches served daily. Two, hot soups between meals.
I liked it. It just wasn't. I thought it could have been a lot better.
I'm going over the tweets. Was the worried feet joke the funny that Jost made?
That might have been it.
Something about penguins, and so instead of happy feet, it's worried feet, and then he commented on the Photoshop.
No, I don't think that was it.
There was a big awe from the audience. Actually, speaking of the audience, we observed at the beginning that Samberg brought out a really female crowd. It was almost like Bieber-ish, One Direction-ish screaming.
Oh, they weren't they? They were just going. They were losing their shit.
Yeah.
How does
even with the weird eyebrows?
How does Brooklyn Nine-Nine not have a bigger audience?
Back to the Weekend Update now, too, though. With Kyle Mooney's Bruce Chandler coming back, that was a strong return for, like, a Weekend Update character that had some legs.
Now, hold on. Did he go to the same, like, depressed well in the first episode?
I don't remember that.
No, did he?
He did,
Not that long. That was a really long...
No, this one was like a longer, but he almost cried on the first time.
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
I was really delighted because I didn't see that coming whatsoever. I must have.
I didn't either, and I thought it was really, really funny because I don't remember that character doing anything for me the first time.
Yeah, because it's just like bad jokes, and then it's just like some weird surprise pathos. Just like, wow, this guy is not having a good time.
Honestly, I don't like the way I look. Yeah. I'm ugly.
I like Cecily.
I'm getting uglier.
Cecily consoling him was really sweet.
Yeah, it was.
I know the Grim Reaper is going to come knocking at the door.
Kind of want to answer.
And somebody took a shot, like a photo of her TV of Kyle Mooney just looking off into the distance. That's the character. It's amazing.
Yeah, I thought he did a really good job.
Cecily had a really good joke. Today is prom across most of the country, so if you're watching this live, sorry, buddy.
Sorry, buddy.
That was good.
I felt like she was talking to me.
She sold that very well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of her strengths is kindness.
Yes.
Yeah. Vogelchecks?
I was honestly, Vogelchecks never really did anything for me, but I was so just tickled pink to the nth degree with Vogelchecks.
As well as mine.
I like seeing them keep bringing more and more relatives
and everything.
I would have lost my shit if Siegel and Franco had come back as the other brothers.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Because I loved, wasn't it in Siegel's one that they revealed that they had like a family photo which had all the actors in it?
Oh yes, like the actual size of the family.
Yeah, to show that it was like there was a continuity to it, and like there were all these long lost brothers who kept on coming home from school with different people. Although Rudd was there, it was like Rudd, Siegel, Franco. I think were the ones so far.
I still don't know if I enjoy Fred Armisen though at all. Or it's like I think I'm not a fan of
as a comedian or in this sketch specifically.
Overall, all three. No,
really,
wow. No. But like in anything but Portlandia, I still haven't warmed to Armisen as a performer.
Which is weird. I feel like Armisen might have come up with this sketch. I want because
curious about that.
Something about the way he says like. He always has that speech. It's like, we may not be, blah, 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 but we're Vogelchecks. And, like, something about that seems like he's
kind of
the sketch.
The lesson of the sketch type of thing. He kind of sums it up.
It's definitely off the wall and strange enough that I believe Fred Armisen would have come up with it.
Yeah. I would say, like, either Armisen or Will Forte wrote that.
Nah, Forte... Did it even show up before Forte left?
Didn't he? He was there for years. He was there for almost 10 years.
Yeah, well, he was there until 2010. He left after MacGruber bombed.
No, I mean, Armisen was there for 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, like...
Almost.
Forte was never in that sketch. My impression is that cast members mostly write for sketches that they will at least appear in.
It seems like very much his style, though, at least, or like influenced by Armisen.
Yeah.
Or by, and that's...
I don't know. Let's take out the idea that the cast returned, because I think we all admit that without all that cast returning, we wouldn't have liked this sketch, for the most part.
I would not have, like with the grandma, like the pat. Yeah.
Although they gave it their all in a way that I don't think they had in previous Vogelcheck sketches, like the
really enjoying themselves,
the motorboating, how crazy open mouth they went, the CPR that Maya Rudolph and Kate McKinnon did.
Yeah, like using the Michael Sam commentary to really go as far beyond as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
But I feel like removing that, the joke of the sketch was always kind of gross kissing / a little bit gay panic. A little bit. And I feel like, this is really generalizing, I feel like that's a little bit in Fred's wheelhouse, and Forte would be much more absurd than that. I'm not saying Forte is not above, like, throwing in a gay kiss for a punchline at certain parts, but I don't think he would have written a sketch around it. Whereas I believe Fred would.
Did you guys not see Benjamin Franklin this week?
But Benjamin Franklin was weirder than just, hey, here's a weird person who's going to make out with a guy. It had more layers of weirdness, whether or not that was any good.
And he's been trying to make that happen for years.
Yeah. Anyway, but so overall, yay Vogelchecks. I don't know where we landed.
I was absolutely enjoying myself with the Vogelchecks.
I'm on the outlier. I generally always enjoyed the Vogelchecks, so I was happy to see it back.
AV Club did point out that Kate McKinnon. Well, first of all, Taron Killam was in there as like the shocked boyfriend, and he did he has that stare down, that like what the hell is going on stare.
Yeah.
But Kate McKinnon really, as like the only current cast member who was involved in like the craziness, she like really, really went for it. And really
she showed why she's Kate McKinnon.
Why she's probably the star of the show right now.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they didn't have Maya Rudolph as the grandma and have Kate McKinnon come in as the nurse.
I think the nurse was a bigger part, so they gave it to the guy.
Oh, you think so?
A little bit.
I disagree.
Entertainment Weekly commented the fact that Taron and Kate were the only current cast members in it speaks volumes about their place in the pecking order.
Yeah, absolutely.
You had your female and male lead there,
yeah.
I mean, maybe A.D. Bryant could have like walked through there, but other than that, I think locked down like who the main people are.
Yeah.
I'm saying A.D. Bryant. I think it's probably up there in terms of head of the cast.
You think she's above?
Nobody's taking that and running with it for or against, so we could just drop it.
Oh yeah, she's like the Bobby Moynihan of the.
I think she's bigger than Bobby Moynihan now.
Only because he hurt his foot.
I think
I'm
it's
not
more
saying
that.
anyone deserves to be. I'm just observing that I think. Well, first of all, me and Matt were talking about when he was driving.
They're both so
home.
funny.
80 had a breakout year this year.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, she really did.
And I think more of a breakout than Moynihan ever had. I think Moynihan was a slow burn until he was just like one of the veteran people. And then, but I think 80 like really kind of made clear what her roles are.
And she absolutely cemented her place in the cast.
Yeah, took that ability to really convey controlled panic and ran with it.
Yeah.
Being like the exasperated straight woman.
Waking up with Kimye.
I don't like this.
No.
It does nothing for me.
I like her in it a lot. I don't care about him. It's weird.
Well, his Jay-Z and his Kanye are the exact same thing.
Matt made the comment because Russell has Jay Farrow. He was like, wow, Watch the Throne is really killing me tonight.
That's a good one.
But, I don't know. AV Club made a good point that kind of summarized everything, which was the only jokes they got out of this was Kim Kardashian is dumb, Bruce Jenner has had plastic surgery.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really care about these two, so why do I want to see them being parodied on the show?
Now, I was
they're
thankful.
never funny. Like, I don't understand why they're doing them.
I was thankful it wasn't.
That Stefan would have been a good wedding planner.
Yes.
And that's what I mean. You could have saved a piece of shit sketch by just adding like Stefan in there,
which is arguably what they did with the vocal checks. But I was very thankful, at least, that I saw something about the set and like the way people were sitting and how Kim, I guess, was dressed. For a second, I thought it was the Noonies. I thought Fred and Maya were here as the Noonies, and I was like, A, what the fuck? Nobody wants to see this. B, I am really just going to hate the next 5 minutes. And then it wasn't.
Nope.
So,
but you still hated the next 5 minutes, didn't you?
I did not like the next 5 minutes. And then Legolas at Taco Bell?
I liked Legolas at Taco Bell.
I liked it because it was short.
It was.
It wouldn't work. It would have been too much.
Yeah, that was a good example of like they do some great production value for like 60 seconds of television, and probably never going to use that set again.
That Taco Bell set.
But you know they got that Legolas costume in storage for. We can use this later.
Oh yeah,
and Moynihan's Gimli. He must have gone through like fitting for that hair and the beard and everything.
The reason he wasn't on the rest of the show is
that's
on that beard.
Exactly why.
I did think it was maybe they shouldn't. I'm sure that I'm part of a small percentage of people who made the connection, but the title card and how Don Pardo introduced it, it was set up to be the sequel to Jason Segel's famous Andre the Giant Orders Ice Cream.
Yes, that's right.
And it was not nearly... I think the reason that sketch was so successful was because it was an unexpected impression, but so eerily accurate and a hilarious, like... personality that he was impersonating in the first place.
Yeah.
And I don't think Andy Samberg's impression or Legolas as a character lived up to that.
We can all agree that Legolas is no Andre the Giant.
Yes.
I think most of the joke was just Jay Farrell, right?
Just
being
not
like
reacting.
This weird hippie lady wants a
I enjoyed Gimli ordering this and one of everything on the menu.
Yeah.
And they were pretty quick with the order, too. We got a tray right away.
That's how Taco Bell works in Sketchland.
Well, that's also how Taco Bell works, because they just hand you whatever is closest.
Warmed over.
And there's like 3 ingredients that are combined in different ways.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Actually, not finally, but close to finally, Blizzard Man.
Matt was very happy to see this. I didn't really care.
I have some nostalgia for Blizzard Man. I totally recognize it's not a strong character or sketch, and it's the exact same joke every time. I kind of enjoy it.
Do you want to talk about the debate we had about the origins of Blizzard Man?
Is Blizzard Man more of a Vanilla Ice or more of a Snow parody?
I think he's more of a Snow.
All right, you are siding with my girlfriend, whereas we were just like... Does anybody really know who Snow is?
I have no idea who Snow is, so I can't weigh in on
But also
this
can't be... Like, it was... Yeah. I mean, that jacket is Snow and Vanilla Ice. The dips, the dye tips, the whole thing.
The dye tips and the glasses.
I actually was expecting Justin Timberlake to come in. I know he already said, like, Justin Timberlake wasn't coming in, but I still...
You didn't believe him?
Because he looked like the, Dick in a Box character.
Yeah. No one believed that even that he wasn't coming, even though I think we Googled it to see where is he right now.
Is he actually in Russia?
Yeah.
Great place to be right now, by the way. Was the comment my girlfriend kept making. But yeah, no, the glasses are Snow. Snow is basically like the Canadian Vanilla Ice, much more reggae. And a little bit more controversial, I would say. And
if you want to enjoy something,
Sounds
Informer.
Amazing.
Jim Carrey?
Informer.
Jim
Wow, this is a kid's show. Leah. Come on.
Family show, Leah.
Jim Carrey famously impersonated Snow on In Living Color. And that was the end of Snow's career. Yeah.
Was it Snow or was it Ice Ice Baby? I'm sure it was Vanilla Ice.
No, there was because this is when I found out who Snow was. It was definitely, I think they actually took the Snow song and changed the lyrics to be about how Snow is so white.
Oh, it must have been a different one then. Because he must have done it twice. Because he danced to Ice Ice Baby as Vanilla Ice and kicked off the shoe and lost it in the rafter.
But anyway, 2 Chainz seemed really into it.
He was so good. He was really good.
It is weird that Keenan forgets who Blizzard Man is every time. He is always like, Blizzard Man, I've heard of him. And then smash cut to, no more.
Which I think stands to him being not a recurring character.
Yeah, dock those recurring points from Leah.
Keenan didn't get any recurring, but the only person that got recurring points was 2 Chainz. Also Andy Samberg.
Season's over, you guys. Let it go.
And finally, probably a great sketch to end the year on. Probably one of the stronger sketches from last year. The porn stars infomercial.
Oh, the Gary watches.
I always love when they're on.
Oh man, all right. I'm gonna go through a bunch of quotes.
I did enjoy it. What I liked about it is at first we noticed, hey, Kristen's missing an arm. That's weird. And then we go, wait, he's missing an arm too. And then they're twins or conjoined
twins.
We didn't get it was like slow burn build realization for all of us. Like, oh wait.
So many great quotes that I was just tweeting as fast as I could. The elegance of Italian assmanship. That's a spicy watch. And good ribbits. And then putting on the rats. What's the thing where it counts time, but in reverse? Cowgirl.
I just like that line.
Santa came down my chimney, and so did 3 other guys. Tweedledee and Tweedledong being the name of Samberg and Kristen Wiig. It's kind of weird in retrospect that Kristen Wiig has never been in that sketch. Because
are we sure that she's never been in that sketch?
Her vacant look into the back, into the distance, was so perfectly that sketch. I don't know how to articulate. Kristen Wiig has a certain look where she's semi-knowing, semi-smirking, like she's getting away with something, / just a complete idiot looking into the distance.
That 9-mile stare.
Yeah. Just I got this. And I'm the one that looks like the Lorax.
And she did.
I did not get the penis. Retweeted.
That's the great thing with those porn star sketches, too. It's they're so chock full of great one-liners, especially when they're on like they are tonight.
And finally,
where they were.
The line that got retweeted 84 times and favorited 186 times. Because everyone will respect you when you walk in the room wearing anal beads.
Watches.
Great sketch.
Always strong.
Do we have any thoughts on St. Vincent?
I enjoyed her. And that setting was great, too.
I thought it was very interesting because the CD she did before this one was with David Byrne.
Yeah.
And after seeing her perform, I was like, that makes complete sense because she's quite a performance artist. And so is David Byrne. So I thought that was really interesting. But other than that, I got both songs right.
Hey.
Yeah, me too.
I did not. I had them reversed. I picked them totally at random, and I got them right, but in the wrong order.
I decided not to pick Birth in Reverse.
I like the choreography in term. It was kind of very minimalist, but that actually kind of made it cool. Where just the moving the arms in sync and stuff, and
well, that's what I meant by it was much more a performance art thing than it was.
I didn't necessarily
choreography.
I didn't necessarily care for the songs, but I was kind of entertained.
I liked your comment last night. You were saying, "Oh, the internet's going to hate this."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately. Some of the other accounts that I tweet alongside with, the big SNL fan or trivia or quote accounts, were already going "Thanks for another shitty musical guest, SNL." Which I think, I don't know. I feel like the internet's very quick to just say,
hate it.
If I don't like this musical guest, then they are terrible.
Yeah.
At least they were a bit different, and they actually tried. So many of the musical guests this year were either, one, just mainstream boring bullshit, or two, it seemed like they were just fucking bored being there. Hello, Black Keys.
You thought the Black Keys seemed bored to be there?
Yeah, I did.
I think they were just more pros than, say, Haim, who is not my cup of tea.
Yeah, I don't like Haim. I think it's Haim.
No idea.
I don't know. Either way, they sucked.
Yeah.
But this is the most we've talked about any musical guest all year.
That may be something we should try more next year.
Nelly.
When we do, it's usually just me being angry. I got the song picks wrong again.
Yeah. I don't know. Should we try a musical guest draft next year?
No.
Oh God, no.
They're so awful. Like all of the people who are on, it's 95% just awful people on. I'm sorry, the musical guests are always bullshit.
I think you're being very harsh.
I think I found out a way to make it work with the song picks.
That's true.
In terms of it's low impact, but it still keeps people involved week to week, especially if we're not
because our cast picks are locked in. It's something to do new every week. You're right. Yeah, no, I didn't mind it. It's
exactly. Unless we have like a code that's set up that can switch around, allows us to switch around cast members without giving me an aneurysm. That would be, the second best.
No,
option.
I think you're right. It worked the way it was. Fine.
So we're going to talk about the season as a whole next week, as well as news. So we're going to leave it here. But do we have any kind of last thoughts about the episode or the league in general? So we're hoping to expand the league, correct?
Yeah, I've got a couple people. I've got a couple people at least who heard about it after the fact. Who's like, "Yes, I want to do that."
See, this is something that I hoped for and kind of banked on. I knew that having a strong group of people for the first year to be part of this with me would be the most important, and I lucked out completely because I didn't know that we were going to have such a great conversation, even if it's among mostly like 4 or 5 people on Facebook. Not to mention the podcast that Rob started, which is more than anything I could have asked for. So thank you for that.
Brian, can you check how many messages are in that Facebook chat thread?
Oh God, yeah, sure.
But
is that a possibility?
Keep going, Russell. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can check.
Oh yeah. That. And then, so ultimately, we're gonna have I'm gonna call it for now the Repertory League. So us or like the original 10 teams, more or less. We'll see who stays or who wants to stay, or like who might be a better fit within that group of 10, or like those 10 teams. And then I'll have at least one Repertory League, in which not only will we, the cast members, invite people, but I'm opening up to anyone who listens, anyone who follows along on Facebook. We're on the Trivia Club website. They can message me or message Trivia Club on Facebook, or get in touch with any of the league members. Then we'll just try to
does that include podcast listeners?
That definitely includes podcast listeners.
Awesome.
So message even us on SoundCloud or through Twitter, of course.
Yeah.
And the closer we get to next season, we'll start setting stuff up and structuring it in a way that not only will there be the Repertory League, but also a featured league or 2, or I'll definitely leave it open to see just how big we can build this for next year.
Woo!
And I think we're over 27,000 messages.
Jesus Christ! I mean, there are some days where I disappear and I come back and there are like 200 and some messages.
Remember, Russell came back one night and there was like 900.
Yeah. I do remember that night. That was a crazy night, you guys.
Guys, such a crazy night. I go over to my friends and I say, like, you wouldn't believe the crazy Saturday night I had. 900 messages on Facebook.
Sorry, buddy.
Welcome to the SNL Fantasy League.
Well, it's also certainly been very fun to do this podcast, even though we probably need to come up with a more strict format and or release timetable and everything. But as an experiment, I think it's been successful.
Yep.
Even without that kind of anomaly where last week we seemed to get 6 times our regular listenership somehow.
Yes. And all from Toronto, mostly from Toronto, and also a surprising array of cities too.
Well, if it's mostly from Toronto, then that tells me that somehow
word of mouth.
Somehow word of mouth. But they also didn't come back the next week, so we don't know what's happening. But it's been fun and definitely great to have you guys on and talk with you. And any last words from anybody?
I was putting it out to, I can't think of my parents the other weekend, and I was saying it's weird. I'm 37, and in the last year, 2 years, I've made so many new friends through trivia and now this fantasy league. I didn't know any of you people a year ago. And now we hang out pretty much every week chatting.
As we go on.
We remember.
All the
That's
times
happens to 37-year-old people. You don't make 20 new friends in your mid-30s.
No, it's true. And even as a trivia club host, too, I knew maybe 2 or 3 people before the SNL Fantasy League, and I didn't really talk to them that often. And now the fact that I talk to and have so many messages from like people that I've met maybe like 4 or 5 times through trivia, let alone like saw them maybe once a week, every once in a while. It's fantastic. No, it's fantastic. It's a great community of people and comedy fans.
Yes.
Which I really love.
What I love about it, we're not just talking about SNL on the Facebook group. Any comedy news, Comedy Bang Bang, different TV shows we're throwing in there. We're like, oh, that sounds great. Oh, like, oh, I'm not looking for that. Oh, I heard that got canceled. It's great. It's like my go-to comedy source.
Woo.
So
that reminds me of something, actually, too. It reminds me of something that I want to do through Trivia Club during the summer. I know that Rob might have plans for continuing Deep Thoughts.
We have
outside of the season.
It's just kind of exactly like how we keep on throwing out ideas for new points. Is the kind of thing where we have constantly
spin-offs.
Every time an idea comes to us, we just say out loud to one another, "Oh, we should do an episode about this to fill out the summer," and then nobody writes it down, and we immediately forget it.
No, really, I do know that we talked about the
I'd like
OC.
to call it.
Yeah. Oh well, Saad's taking over the OC. Yeah. So
the OC is now canon.
What I like to call it, I'm sure Rob will have different ideas, and who knows if this will stay on the podcast. But like, I like the idea of Deep Thoughts on blank, and then just filling in that blank.
Mm-hmm. On Comedy Bang
the host,
Bang,
like,
on Inside Amy Schumer.
Yeah, as the host, or whoever wants to see fit and like take the lead for that one show.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be
Ooh,
nice.
can I do a Felicity?
What are the notes?
Kenan Thompson.
Kenan Thompson on Felicity.
Yes, playing DeForest.
I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be called Deep Thoughts on SNL, but on the Trivia Club Network, we could have one-offs, kind of like the Analyze Fish on Earwolf spawned Analyze Fish about the movie Jaws.
Yeah,
I believe that's exactly what Russell just said, Rob.
I don't think he said anything about Analyze Fish. Or,
he said Deep Thoughts on, and then fill in the blank.
Yeah, but I didn't realize it wouldn't be hosted by me. I didn't realize it could be about something besides. I didn't realize it could be about something besides a sketch show. But that sounds great. You can do, Leah. You can do as many goddamn Felicity podcasts as you want. The sky's the limit on the Trivia Club Network.
But everybody has to watch the episodes.
Yeah, I'll come on. I've never watched the show before.
Ooh, an outside opinion.
Russell, you were going to say
liked it when she cut her hair. Oh, yeah. For Trivia Club this season, or for this summer, because I've met so many great comedy fans and so many people that are excited about comedy, not even through the SNL Fantasy League, but then also people that hear about it, that sign that people are like, oh yeah, that'd be a fantastic idea. I love comedy. Anyway, I want to do something called the Trivia Club Comedy 100, and more or less that's people, more or less it's putting forward who they think are the tops in comedy.
Oh, okay.
Because like we've seen these recent lists, like a power ranking, but mega sized.
Sketch,
stand up,
TV actors.
Exactly. Yeah, all the TV
podcast hosts,
movies, podcast hosts of any kind of performer, be they international and local. Because I know that we're both fans of international people and local people that we would like to sort of get out there.
That'd be great.
Sort of promote any way that we can. So I'm starting the idea on that, putting stuff together, and that'll be.
Would that potentially be its own podcast or episode of Trivia Club Prime or?
Certainly, yeah. That'll be its own episode of Trivia Club Prime, and also a multi-part post-series on the Trivia Club website as well.
I like it.
Boom.
The ballots and stuff will be up for that in the coming weeks as we move forward into the summer. And everyone is also welcome to join on that, yeah.
I like it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
All right. Well, my laptop is in danger of overheating, so Woo! Fire! Any last words from anybody? We will be back for news/season overview next week. So, not necessarily a comments on the podcast or pretend that it's going away for a while. But
see you in the car.
It's not what you know.
Any last words?
What you learn along the way.
Any last words?
Oh, yeah. Thanks everyone for joining in.
No.
This is so nice.
No.
Okay, hold on. I'll go through everybody. Leah.
Okay.
Hi. Hey.
Any last words / plug your shit?
No, I had a great time. It was really fun arguing with Matt and Rob on Facebook a lot, and glad that I participated. It was fun.
Brian?
Never had so much fun watching Saturday Night Live before. Thank you.
Russell?
Yes, thank you everyone for joining in on this crazy game that I came up with and really running with it too. So look forward to talking with you more throughout the summer.
Woo! All right, thank you everybody for being here.
That's two fish fighting.
Yay!
Two fish fighting?
That is two fish fighting. Wow. So violent.
And cue some music cue from something we talked about earlier. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Till